Alright, what's up boys? Welcome back to another video. So today we are on Deca Training Facility by Bait Monitors. I've just seen the pictures on OC Mods. I was just checking it to see if there's anything new, and once again Bait Monitors looks like he's dropped an absolute banger again. It's a full outdoors track. It looks actually really enjoyable. Like, it looks like quite flowy. There's a bit of roughness to it. I need to make sure I'm going the right way, which I don't think I am. And I am on a Supercross setup as well, because I don't actually have an outdoor setup yet, because I mean I've not done any outdoors. Right, I take it, I'm going the wrong way. But I mean, look at the size of that jump already. Like, oh my god, I'm starting out everywhere. Go on, get up the hill. Yeah, it's another Bait Monitors track. I've put the E-Road on 0.2 just so you guys can see the lines a bit easier. I'm hoping this Supercross setup works well. It's quite a soft Supercross setup, which is why I've chosen it. I'm not using like a stiff one, but obviously it's still quite stiff for outdoors. Oh my god, this is already rough and bumpy. Oh my word. I can already tell there's going to be so many public lobbies up on this track. Oh my god, there's a corner there. Oh, whoop section. Oh my god, there's so many like ruts and bumps here. This actually looks sick. I'm going to definitely need to make an outdoor setup for this, because if there's lobbies up on this, I cannot be using a Supercross setup on it. Alright, let's try and step. Oh, okay. That was very odd. My game just tabbed in and out straight away. That was really weird. We've got a nice little inside line here. It's very thin. It's going to be very interesting to see what the racing is like on this track. Look at the inside. Okay, where we go? Now up here. Wait, are we going the right way? It's just got a greeny bit there, I think, just like a grassy bit. It's like a canyon kind of dirt. It's just like a step down, and we've got a table so we can lay low. Nice. But yeah, those of you that don't know, there is meant to be an update coming soon for the Lean Help issues. So they're meant to be getting rid of Lean Help 0, and they're also meant to be updating Lean Help 1. The update was meant to come out Friday, Aerial Day, but I believe most of the people that were testing it were saying no, don't do it on Fridays because of Aerial. So he said he's going to do it Saturday, and it is currently Monday as I'm recording this, and it's still not out yet. So I'm not sure when he's dropping it. I really hope he drops it soon, because obviously Aerial's on Friday and it's Monday now, and he hasn't released it yet. So if they're changing the physics, I actually would like some time on it to learn it and practice it. That's going to be quite a big jump, I think. So yeah, we need to actually practice it. So I'm really hoping he drops it I'm hoping he drops it as soon as possible, really, like now. So we actually have some time practicing it. I don't know how different it is. Apparently it isn't like super different, but it's still a physics update. So it's still going to be different, whether it's a massive different or not. It's still going to feel weird. So what he's doing is he's merging them together, kind of. He's put in Lean Help 1. I think he's changing it so it's a bit more like flicky, like a bit more like Lean Help 0, but it isn't as OP as Lean Help 0. And then they're getting rid of Lean Help 0 completely. So it's going to be interesting to see, you know, who was on Lean Help 0 beforehand and who now can't play the game. I know a few people that I play with that were on Lean Help 0 and have now gone to Lean Help 1 just to start practicing it early now, as there's no point restaying on Lean Help 0 as it is being removed anyway. So most of them have gone to Lean Help 1 now, and most of them are saying it's actually a lot easier, because they've been on Lean Help 0 for like over a year or something, so they haven't ridden Lean Help 1 on these new bikes or new tracks, etc. So they were saying that it's actually a lot easier to be on Lean Help 1 for these tracks, especially with the pre-made roughness now that Zone's done on the San Francisco. The pre-made ruts on that made it really hard for the Lean Help 0 riders, just because it was way too like responsive for the ruts. You really got to be flowy and follow the ruts for it to actually feel good, and I think Lean Help 0 was holding them back for that. So I think a few of them have gone back to Lean Help 1 anyway, just to practice, just to get used to it all. But yeah, speaking of San Francisco, so we'll launch that. I do want to talk about that a little bit. Once again, I mean, you guys have seen the video before this one anyway, so you guys have seen the main event and all that. Heat racer, once again, was decent. Qualifying wasn't actually as good as what I wanted it to be. I was actually running a second quicker in the testing before qualifying, but, you know, a second slower than my testing, that still qualified me anyway, so it's more annoying than an issue. Like, I don't care as long as I qualified, to be honest. But yeah, it wasn't really where I wanted to be in terms of qualifying times, but qualifying is qualifying. It's fine. Doesn't mean anything whether you qualify, you know, in the last spot 40 or if you top qualify. It don't really mean much, to be honest. But heat race went well. Heat race was decent. I got a decent start, and then I made a mistake myself. I went over a rut and it just sort of like folded the front end, so I went down to about 9th or 10th. but I think I managed to pass about 4 or 5 people in that lap, and I got up to 5th. And I just sort of stayed there. I was in 4th, 5th throughout the whole heat race, really, and then had a comfortable gap towards the end. I was sort of 4 or 5 seconds up and 4 or 5 seconds down from people in front of behind me. So I was just sort of in my own space, just being consistent, finishing 5th, and heat race was fine by me. So yeah, main event happened, but then I got a decent start again in the main, and then I was sort of running about 4th. I was in 4th, and then I got up to about 3rd for about a lap or 2, and then stayed in 4th for a good, I was watching the stream back, I was in 4th for a good like 7 or 8 minutes, but then once the aero started kicking in, my bike just kept folding. I'm not blaming it all on setup, obviously, because obviously, you know, anyone can ride a setup, it doesn't really matter if it's really good or not, but I'm personally blaming it on setup, or I think that's the issue, is the setup. I had a Hakon Supercross setup on, and it's really, really stiff, and I never run stiff setups, but it felt really good for hot laps. So I think it was more of a hot lappy kind of setup than an actual E-Road setup, because even in pub lobbies I was struggling in E-Road, and I'd never normally struggle in E-Road. That's sort of how I learned to play the game. I've always prided myself in E-Road riding, so now to be really bad at it all of a sudden, it's sort of like, it's got to be the setup I'm running. I never run stiff setups. I'm always a soft setup kind of guy on Supercross. I don't know why. I prefer setups that have a bit more pop than a bit more stiffness. Don't know if you guys knew about Hell's setup, but he used to have a setup that had like no preload. It would have no preload, nothing. It was just super, super stiff. It's just like, it'd be really good on like a flat track. It's that stiff. But I kind of liked a softer setup. And because I tried Hakon setup, that was a stiffer one, it felt really good for hot laps. And at the time, I was just sort of trying to get my 1 lap speed up. So it was really good for hot laps. So I just sort of kept it. And I was like, okay, I'll use this for San Francisco. It's fine. Felt alright in qualifying, felt alright in the testing before. But yeah, and heat race as well. I was absolutely fine in the E-Road. Not E-Road. I was absolutely fine in the heat race. I had no issues whatsoever in the heat race. Ran consistent laps, consistent times. Same with the start of the main event. Was running, like I said, 3rd and then 4th for about 8 or 9 minutes. And then once the E-Road started kicking in, it was just literally the same thing as A1, just crash after crash after crash after crash. So I think next week I'm going to try and use a softer setup. Maybe either work on one or get my suspension sponsor, Austin Crank, to make me a softer one, or I'll just try and make or use a softer one that I had before I got Hakon's one. So I think that's the plan going into round 3. Just try and use a softer setup, something I'm more comfortable with for E-Road. But yeah, 12th is 12th. I'll take points are points, you know. There's a few people that are still struggling, and I'm one of them people. So I just need to find that spot. Plenty more rounds to go, 50 more rounds to go. We're only 2 rounds in. I think I'm 12th in the points or something, 11th in the points. So I'm fine with where I am at the minute, 2 rounds in. I'm fine with it. I'm not gonna sit here and say I should be in the top 3 by the 2nd round. Like, I'm not that kind of person. I'm just, like I said, aiming for top 10 in each championship, outdoors and Supercross. So to be top 2 rounds in, I'm fine with that. I can work with that. Get a few rounds in, get a few decent finishes in. But yeah, I'm just going to try a softer setup, use that, see how it goes. And I think that'll be better in E-Road. Just do a bit of soft setup kind of testing, really. But yeah, going into round 3, just going to try and do the same thing, really. Get good, decent qualifying time. Once again, good start in the heat race, get some good laps in, run some good laps, be consistent, and yeah, go for a top 10 finish. Normally I'd aim for higher, to be honest, in the main, but going 12 and 12, I think my goal, to be honest, into the 3rd round is just try and finish into the top 10. You know, I'd like to be, you know, battling for top 5s, really. That's where I feel like I want to be and should be, because pub lobby is a different thing, obviously, but in pub lobbies, I'm beating the people that are like almost, lapping me or just doing like really good in aerials. I just seem to struggle in aerial for some reason, and it's not even like I ride nervous in the main event. I don't know why. Maybe I am. I just don't realize it. But yeah, I think I ride too stiff in main events. So I just need to let loose. Get comfortable, run laps. That's the thing though, once you start getting in a flow, you feel absolutely fine. But it's just, I don't know why, as soon as E-Road starts kicking in, it just starts making the bike fold. Like, the bike just won't turn, it won't go straight, just won't do what I want it to do. So, as a rider, I'm going to blame that all on the setup. Because that's what riders do, we all blame it on the setups. So, I'm just going to try a softer one and hopefully that works. But yeah, this is Bait My Tools, brand new track. It is free on mods. Once again, Bait My Tools has dropped another free banger. I don't think he does any paid tracks. I could be completely wrong. I don't think I've seen a paid track unless... No, I think I have seen a paid track from him, but I think he mostly does the free ones. But yeah, if you guys do want to download this, it is free on MC Mods. It's a pretty sick track, and not going to be surprised if I see quite a lot of Publobbies up. As a matter of fact, I might see after this video if I can find any Publobbies that are up. But yeah, appreciate you guys watching. Like, subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.